Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So this is absolutely absurd, but apparently some Republicans in Congress believe that a certain group of people should have more Second Amendment rights than others. As a matter of fact, the House just recently passed H.R. 2243, which does exactly that. It creates a class of people that have more Second Amendment rights than just about anybody in the country. It expands on national reciprocity, but not for you. So let's talk about H.R. 2243 and some of the ridiculous comments that Congress has made about it. Now, real quick before we get started, if you want to support the channel for free, a great way to do that is by hitting the subscribe button. Not only does it support the channel, but it also tells the platform that more people want to see Second Amendment content like this, and it allows our message to be shared. Thumbs ups are always appreciated, and that little alarm bell will let you know when new videos come out. And the comment section is definitely going to be on it with this one. So with that being said, let's get to it. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what's going on with the House just recently passing H.R. 2243, which to me kind of feels like a slap in the face to just about all of us, because not only does it support more Second Amendment rights for a preferred group, but it also supports national reciprocity and the expansion of that national reciprocity for that preferred group. So while the rest of us are stuck with this patchwork of reciprocity throughout the country, where some states might accept one permit and others do not, and some states don't accept reciprocity with any other state, and so traveling through the country is like traveling through this virtual minefield. For them, it's not a problem at all. Not only do they have national reciprocity, but now they can carry in even more places. So H.R. 2243 is also known as the LEOSA Reform Act, or the Law Enforcement Officer Reform Act, which expands on national reciprocity for active and retired law enforcement. Now, you might think that's a good thing, but the original LEOSA Act created two different classes of people in this country. One class that is afforded more Second Amendment rights than the rest of us. So if you have a government job, you're a law enforcement officer, you get national reciprocity, while the rest of us are forced to go through this patchwork of different states that have different reciprocity with others, and again, some not at all. Now, again, this expands on that. That's why it's the LEOSA Reform Act. It expands on that, and the reason that they're expanding on where these people can carry is because they feel that you and I, as licensed carriers or as constitutional carriers, currently have more places that we could carry than they do. And if you want proof, check this out.
The LEOSA Reform Act will allow these officers to carry a concealed firearm in the same manner many licensed citizens carry a firearm in their state. For example, the LEOSA Reform Act will allow law enforcement officers qualified under LEOSA to carry concealed firearms in national parks, certain federal facilities that are not open to the public, on public transportation, in school zones, and in other areas. Many states allow state-licensed concealed carry permit holders to carry a concealed firearm in gun-free school zones and on public transportation in the state in which they are licensed. This bill affords qualified law enforcement officers the same privilege. At a time when violent crime continues to plague our nation, we must support our active and retired law enforcement officers and ensure they are able to protect themselves and to protect others, no matter where they are in the United States.
Now, I don't know about you, and I'd love to know what you think about what he just said down in the comment section, but we can't carry in half the places that he just mentioned. So he's saying that people in states are able to carry there, regular permit carriers are able to carry there, and so they're expanding it so that these active and retired law enforcement officers can carry there as well. But those places are still off limits to us, to my knowledge, unless anything's changed, and you guys can let me know about that. But it seems to me that they believe that the only good guys out there are active and retired law enforcement. The rest of us just need their help. The rest of us just need to sit back and let them take care of things because maybe we're not responsible enough. They say things like this.
This is important because if you're at like a theater or bowling alley and somebody's acting very dangerous, who do you want there that is armed and trained to act? It would be an off-duty policeman or a retired policeman.
Now, if you're like me, you were listening to that thinking, I'll be my own first responder, thanks. But if for some reason I can't, I don't care what the qualifications are of the guy who's sitting next to me, as long as they're able to level the playing field. whether it's constitutional or by a permit. If they're there, they can go ahead and handle it if for some reason I can't. Again, I don't care what their qualifications are or whether they've ever had a badge. It's just, again, they're a citizen who's willing to take on that responsibility, and that's all that matters to me. Now, what really bothers me here is that Congress was so quick to pass the LEOSA Act and now the LEOSA Reform Act, but they're dragging their feet on national constitutional carry and national reciprocity. If the House and if Congress fails to pass either of those two bills, then again, all they've done is they've created two different classes of people. One class of people which has more of their Second Amendment rights than the rest of us. Congress needs to act on those two bills. So while everybody's been busy making phone calls about everything that's been happening around the Hearing Protection Act and stuff, we need to remember that there's actually quite a few other bills that have a drastic impact on our Second Amendment rights that are still kind of being held up right now. And so we need to make sure that we keep up the pressure on all of them, because the time that we have is very short before the midterms where things could change drastically. Again, we have a very small window here. So instead of just focusing on one thing, which is absolutely important, we need to make sure that we remember everything else that's going through Congress as well, because there shouldn't be two classes of people that enjoy two different sets of Second Amendment rights. It says the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That applies to everybody, not just people with a badge. And again, while I support more people, including law enforcement, being able to carry across state lines, it shouldn't just be for them. It should be for everyone. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you. I want to thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe. You guys have a great day.